I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You are the bearer.
Another very bad investment. And this is economically. This is not the right or the wrong thing to do. You can judge for yourself what's right or wrong. Is building homes in the village. That economic argument. And I think this is where, we have to be humble enough, because economics is a science. There's certain things, they come at gravity. What goes up must come down.
True that.
And this model of dependency, where, a relative back home, where the money that we are sending back home is going to pay maybe rent, is going to pay school fees, is going to pay. That's not a good kind of investment. That's not a good kind of investment. It's a good thing to do.
I don't think, Ali...
It's a good thing to do socially.
Ali, I think investment for you investment for someone else are different.
No, by the way, this is not about me. This is just economics. When we look at the economy of a country, this is not about me or you. This is now economics. Unajua kama vile ukienda hospitali, daktari anakuambia the reason tumbo yako inakuuma is because of this and that. Well, of course you're not in there. So this is just based on economics, and you can take any economics book and read and even try to figure out which countries right now there's a very high dependence, the foreign currency dependence is dependent on diaspora remittances. So what happens is the government tends to start slacking on services that they're supposed to be offering. Take, for example, education. That's a big chunk of money that goes to Kenya. These are services that were supposed to be provided by the government. So now, instead of $10,000, let's say, for example, going to education, you'd rather $10,000 goes towards investment of a company that's making profit, where the child is still being educated because the government is paying for it. But this kind of investment tends to make the government slack in certain areas where they're supposed to be doing. Because when you think about it right now, when you compare what you are sending money for 20 years ago, for those who've been here that long, and what you're sending money for today, sending money for medical care, that is it's very problematic, because these are services that the government is supposed
but they don't
to already be offering.
So
but that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about building the overall economy, these kinds of remittances that Kenyans are sending, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
So you don't want us to send for health, you don't want us to help them for rent, and you don't want us to do maguta.
No, I'm not telling you.
Sorry, Proti.
I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. But what I'm telling you is the value it gives to the economy.
You're right, but then it's very painful to hear you say it.
Yes, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You are the bearer.
Another very bad investment. And this is economically. This is not the right or the wrong thing to do. You can judge for yourself what's right or wrong. Is building homes in the village. And I know this is very personal.
Can we take a call first?
I know we're going to go to the call. I know this is very personal, but I'm just talking about the economic side of it. I'm not talking whether it's right or wrong. I'm talking about the overall economy. When you hear this country, economically, it has grown. When you look at China, why they grew economically, or even countries like India, the growth is not based on sending money to people to pay. It's a good thing to do. You will be clapped for, like in village meetings. People will be happy. But I'm talking about building economies.
Omosh, before I take up this call, tuheshimiane kwanza, yeah? Like Ruto said, building unatengeneza economy, because kuna watu wanajenga hiyo kitu, wanapata tuhesha from the building that you're building in the village.
Yes. Okay. Let's go to the caller.
Atulipie levy. Tuko watu ngapi hapa? Waine. Atulipie levy yetu at 2.5%.